Hi folks, Mark here again. At Luce Media, we use a lot of different types of AI tools in our day-to-day work. We use them to generate topics or ideas for things like blog posts or social media, or we use them often to do a deep analysis or deep research for our clients. I thought it might be interesting to you to find out what the top 5 AI tools we use are, and the difference between the free version of those and the paid version, and what I think each tool does best. So I'm going to start out here on the screen most of ChatGPT, and they have a free version and a paid version as well. So I'm sure many of you are using this. Many of you may be using the free version. And that's good. They've come out recently with a new model called GPT-5, and that's the best model they have had. In the free version, you're limited somewhat there in terms of the number of messages that you can put out every single day. They will maybe slow you down during the day at peak traffic times for them, and you get some basic memory. The paid version, which I believe is $21 a month, has higher usage caps in there. It allows you to do a lot more in terms of accessing different models. For instance, they have something called thinking model, which really implements a lot of logic and reasoning into the answers and responses it gives you. You can upload larger files in the paid version. You can do something called deep research, which again is fabulous if you're really trying to do a deep dive into a specific type of question or a specific type of content. And then you can use, most importantly, I think, something that's called custom GPTs. And this is essentially a chat GPT that is trained to only use your documents, your information, and those sorts of things. We create a lot of custom GPTs for our clients. The next one I want to show you is Gemini. Gemini is from Google, and as a result, it does search really well. You're limited here in the type of model. I think you're limited to 2.5 Flash. I think you'll see over here that there's, in the paid model, a 2.5 Pro that you can use in here. So again, basic image creation in there, lower file upload sizes. You're going to get throttled again during peak hours and stuff. With the paid version, you get full access. You get actually 2 terabytes of cloud storage from Google mixed into that. You get to use their video generation, which is pretty significant in there. And again, you have higher daily usage caps. So I use this very much when I'm doing searches. So instead of going to Google these days, I use Gemini because not only can I go in and get deeper information and more specific information, but then I can go back and question it over and over. And I also, the Gemini tool in terms of image creation is fantastic. And just this week they added video creation in here. So when you go to Gemini, you can go over here in tools. You can see create images here or create videos with Veo, which is very cool as well. So this is a great tool I find using every single day in here. Another tool that we use is a tool called Claude, and this is from a company called Anthropic. Again, you're limited in terms of the different types of models you can use here with the free version. You can see these are more models down here, and I think my thing is covering that, but the point is more models down here are their lower and older ones. This Opus 4.1 is their newest model and really very effective in what it can do. So you get access to that with the paid version. Again, I think all of these are basically $20-some there. Claude is the best writing AI tool out there, I believe. So if I'm trying to write a blog post and I've written some concepts and things and I throw it in there, it writes a blog post. I think it does a much better job than any other AI tool, including ChatGPT, in generating a well-written, human-sounding type of content. I like to use it for longer form content like LinkedIn articles or blog posts, as I said. And I also like when I get some information from somewhere else to run it through Claude and clean up the writing. It's just a really good writing tool, and I would encourage you to use it whenever possible in there. So let me go next. The next one we use is called Perplexity, and again, you can see we're using the pro version of it. The free version of it lets you do follow-up questioning. You're limited in the daily searches in there, and you have no image upload capabilities in here. This Perplexity Pro we use for all of our research. This is an incredible tool if you want to do research. If you want to do research on your customer and want to learn everything about your customer, plug it into Perplexity and it's going to give you a ton of data. If you're a salesperson that wants to do that, if you have questions on a specific type of operation or process or something like that that a prospect is using and you're not really sure what that is, plug it into Perplexity Pro and it's going to come up with a great result in it. You'll see that Perplexity has this thing called Deep Research in here, and Deep Research is where you plug in your question, as much information as you want to provide, and it will come out with great detail on your question or your query or your search query in there. Many times it'll come out with 15 to 20 pages of information. So we love this if we're researching a specific topic or a commercial print process that we want to know more about. We'll use Perplexity to learn about it, and it will train us as a result. Great tool for that. I'm not sure how we would live without Perplexity Pro in our toolbox. And then finally, here's one that you may not have heard of. It's called Manus. And Manus is different from all of these other tools I've shown you. It will do, you can plug in a search or a query and it will answer it. But Manus's strength is that it's called an agentic tool. And what that means is not only can you go in and ask it a question and have it do like deep research like Perplexity, not only can you do that, but then you can tell it to create something out of it. Let me give you an example. If I was doing a website page, for instance, on web flexo printing, I could go in and ask Manus to do deep research on what web flexo printing is, the benefits of it, compare it to offset printing and lithographic and things like that. And then at the same time, I could say, go now and build a website page based on the information you got. And so with one kind of prompt, it will go out and create all of that. It'll take maybe 5 to 7 minutes to do all of that and complete it. But it is an incredible tool and one that if it's not in your toolbox, I'd seriously consider adding. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you're using and let me know if you have any questions regarding AI tools.